Hello, everybody. My name is Logan Carter, and I'm sure all of you guys have some activity or hobby that will get you up at 4 in the morning, and for me, that's soccer. Whether it's watching the World Cup on TV, or it happens that my favorite team is playing the worst opponent in the league at 4:30 in the morning, I'm out of bed running on 5 hours of sleep and maybe a cup of coffee. I started kicking a soccer ball when I was 3 years old and have had a passion for the sport ever since. Whether it's playing for my high school team in the state championship or watching an important game at my friend's house on the couch, I always love to incorporate the sport into my life. Although everybody enjoys their own hobbies in different ways, I want to share my enthusiasm for the sport of soccer with you all because not only do I love soccer, but so does much of the rest of the world, which is why I believe it may be of some interest to you as well. In this speech, I plan to explain the global span of soccer and some relevant information about the sport, such as the worldwide depth of competition, the global community of fans, and the opportunity and accessibility of the sport. First, I would like to talk about how soccer, which I will also refer to throughout the speech as football, reaches all corners of the world. The first point that highlights the widespreadness of football is the amount of participating nations. According to FIFA, which is the governing body for football across the world, there are 211 affiliated associations, which include smaller island territories and nations such as Taiwan, which aren't globally recognized as independent countries. This number is quite striking because there are only 193 members of the United Nations, meaning football is played in practically every country across the world. I would like to shift the attention to soccer at the club level, which is what the majority of football competitions are throughout the year. There are 5 main leagues, each one containing teams from a singular country, which usually takes the spotlight of soccer media. However, there are professional leagues in 34 countries across Europe alone, according to EuropeanLeagues.com, and many other leagues, very popular leagues in all continents across the world. Aside from soccer reaching the world, players from all over the world come together to play on the same team. For example, Liverpool, a team in the English Premier League, had a starting lineup of 11 players from different countries a couple of weeks ago, according to multiple soccer media outlets. Furthermore, while I was reading an autobiography written by an English football star, Ray Parlour mentions that while English teams were mostly comprised of English players around the 90s, players started coming in from other European countries, which expanded that diversity of the club's nationality. Now, while soccer is played almost everywhere, every team has their own fans, which makes up for an incredibly large fan base for the sport. Now, I would like to direct your attention to this figure which I have here, which shows the most popular sport by country. All the gray countries, the most popular sport in their country is soccer, which kind of gives you an idea for how big soccer really is across the world. The international support from football extends the community past the clubs and players. For example, in the recent FIFA World Cup, which is essentially the world championship for national teams, FIFA has claimed that around 1.5 billion people watched the 22 World Cup final live on television. Not only do Americans and people alike around the world love to watch the World Cup, but from personal experience, passion for international club soccer as well is through the roof even in America. Out of all of my friends who've ever supported a soccer club or played soccer with me, when it comes to their favorite club, it's always a European team, whether it be from the English Premier League, the top Spanish league, or the top German league. Now, I would like to talk about an article I read done by 2 college students about soccer in the age of globalization, which further highlights how the sport reaches consumers, as they put it, around the globe. The article states that soccer can thus be seen both as a sector harnessed by economic actors in pursuit of global strategies and as an important tool in the process of globalization. Although the article goes into the political aspects of the sport, it speaks about how there is an increase in popularity and global attention, which made an impact in various sectors. While sports like golf or hockey have expensive equipment requirements, I believe the accessibility and opportunity that soccer possesses is quite unique due to the simplicity of the sport. First, the only piece of equipment necessary is a ball. Obviously, if you were to play in a large-scale professional match, you need a field, a stadium, coaches, staff, referees, etc. However, in many less developed countries around the world, kids play on the street, oftentimes with homemade balls, and even in America, you can buy balls for as cheap as $30 and sometimes even less. Many players have also left behind their families and lives to come play soccer with the hopes of making it professional, which shows the opportunity given to help bring players into the sport by many clubs. For example, my own high school soccer coach was granted the opportunity to go play semi-professional soccer in the Netherlands, which gave him a pathway towards a professional career, although it didn't end up working out. In conclusion, let's review what I have covered in my speech today. I began by discussing the depth of competition within the football world. Second, I explained the global support that the sport has through its fans. And lastly, I talked about how the sport is very accessible and can provide opportunity to youth and players around the world. Now, even if soccer doesn't interest you very much, I encourage everybody to find something in their life, a hobby or some passion that works to unite the world or even just your community. Thank you.